I'm gonna check my channel. Channel. Right now it shows a sheepy stream. And I refresh. And power on. Here we go. Okay. So this is a continue. Oh, you know what? I guess I could change my. I'm going to do a little edit because I can actually put tags in now. Oh, no. The tags show up. They stay the same. Okay, they were there. Good. Here we are. This is a continuation. I did a stream earlier of Hyperforce Red Ranger from Power Rangers Hyperforce RPG, played by Peter Sidarso, who is currently Power Rangers Ninja Steel Blue on television, but here on Twitch he is Hyperforce Red. I was 100% ready to go with coloring. I had done the rough all the way up to the inks, which is what you're looking at here, possibly with a little bit of black added. I was having trouble finding good reference for the helmet. I just found a better reference, so now I'm actually going to make a couple adjustments before I go into color. First, let me erase this layer of roughs. Then I'm going to take this layer, bring it down so I can see what I'm doing here. Oh, and we've got an Airzuki. Hello, Airzuki. We've got Kapow, Lightning Bolt from Power Rangers, repeated. I appreciate that. And now you see the tags. Huzzah. So good as us. We are go. And let me minimize this screen so I can see my referencey. I'm not seeing how many people are here. Why? I must have turned something off or on earlier. I have no idea how to fix that, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Usually there's a little person that tells me how many people's, but I know there's at least 2 of us. So good goes. I'm going to... Oh, actually, I wanted to merge that down. That is a line I made earlier to show the costume a bit thicker. So I'll just merge that layer down. If you weren't watching the first part, I am using Photoshop CC 2019, which I'm fairly new to. Well, I guess everybody's fairly new to because it just got released. But I'm also fairly new to CC 2018, so it's doubly fresh for me. So I'll bring that down to 50%. And I'm going to make a new layer and grab a reddish color and bring my brush up to, let's say, 15. And it's not too much I need to change. Oh, there's my little person. I guess it just hadn't shown up yet. So most of what I had was right. Some of it, like this, could be tucked in a little bit more like here, but I don't think that's that big a deal, so I'm going to leave it because, again, I've seen a few different versions of this. But the main thing, I kept talking about how I thought this here was an ear. I'm going to make that a little bit more red. And I was right about that, except it should go even further, almost down to the eye, to make it really look like an ear. So I'll do the same thing on this side. And then I'll go back in and clean this up in the inks once I have it to satisfactory. And I'll bring this up as well. And bring it in this way so it angles in a little bit. And then this ear part actually goes behind. So, like so. I don't have to erase that little bit that I have in there now and make it more clean. It's a little weird. Okay, so that actually, and that helps because I kept saying the top, I kept feeling like the proportions were a little bit off, and this is, I think, adjusting that. And then this actually can go all the way over here. And I'll bring this down even more. Yeah, there we go. Bring that down to there. And make some eraser marks with my eraser. That's what it's for. Not erasing, but making eraser marks. Okay, now this part I had right, but it looks like this goes up. There's actually some detail lines here and cuts in that way, which again isn't a matter of me redrawing things. I could just add some stuff so that makes it easier. And I'll bring this down more. Bring it down a more. Then there's even, again, using probably thinner lines. This goes up. Yeah, there's basically a couple structural differences, but mainly adding details, which is good because adding details is easier than having to erase and redraw huge segments. Okay. Erase that. The tags I have currently are digital art, fan art, coloring, English. Tried putting in other things like Power Rangers or RPG or Hyper RPG or whatever, but apparently you can't do that. You're limited to what they would like you to have. I feel like I should bring this down a little bit, make it less diamond, maybe smooth that out a little bit. I might just do that with black, though. I might leave the outer shape and just, I don't know, we'll see. And it looks like the nose is mostly the right shape. I'm looking at reference off camera, in case you're wondering. The nose is mostly the right shape, but it does seem like maybe it could come out a little bit more like that. That might be nitpicking. Yeah, that might be nitpicking. I'm going to leave that. I'll give myself more work for something nobody's going to notice. Not even me until I double checked it. This could come out a little bit more. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll move this out a little bit more to give it a little bit more of a lion thing. And then down here, okay, if I attach the fangs up, the teeth, fangs, whatever, attach those up a little bit more. Yeah, I wish I had found this reference earlier, because there's not a huge difference, but a lot of little differences. Oh, and then there's, that's interesting. There's like a little nub there, One of the big things is this part is wider. So I could widen that up. And I'd already smoothed some of the angles, but it looks like I need to smooth the angles a bit more. And then this, I was having trouble figuring out what was supposed to happen here, and now I see. It actually has the silver go all the way in to the red. I'm not even doing it right. So that there's a stark division there. So really, it should go down here up to there, like so. But then this, it does narrow, so then I have to kind of narrow it like that. Okay. The rest of that can stay basically the same. This is a little less sharp on top, I guess. So I can round that off. And could leave that, leave that. What else? It does look like this might come out a little bit more, but like that. And the muzzle of the lion looks like it kind of wants to be up even more like that. Did not anticipate so much revision at this stage. I'm tempted to just leave well enough alone, but I know it'll bother me later. Had I not seen this picture, I would have been fine with it, but now that I made the mistake of looking for a better picture and finding one, more work. Okay. This guy goes out and in. Oh wait, that's way too low. So right where this meets, it actually, oh see, should kind of go like that. Yeah, I can't change that without redoing everything. I'm not going to bother. I'll just poke that up a little bit more than it was, and then connect it like so. Just adjust it like that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And tuck that in. Is that how it goes? They're actually a lot more angular than I thought they were. Like the line would be here a little bit. And it does have a double, well, I already kind of have that, a double sort of line inside the mouth. Airzuki, all work and no play makes Gaz a champ chomp. Right, of course, that famous saying. All work and no play makes Gaz a champ chomp. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. And this I had right, but I feel like I could come in more. I don't know if I'm going to. Yeah. All right. And yeah. Okay, so let's take the ink layer, bring that up to back to 100%, and take this adjustment layer, bring that down to 75%. I'm going to duplicate the ink layer in case I mess it up too bad, and then I'll mute that one so we can't see it. And I'll switch back to my black. And I will switch to, okay, 15 is for the outside, so I'll work on that first. So let's look at this logically. Actually, I got to do some erasing first, too. All right, so I'll make that a 15 as well. And we'll work on the outer structure first. So all this stuff here has to go so that could connect. Yep, all that goes. Same thing on this side. That is the good thing about digital. So I could just erase instead of having to use whiteout or some other more difficult methodology. And I think the rest of that I could leave alone. Okay. And then this I need to bring out and in more. So I'm going to erase the top there and the inside there. Okay. Try to do all the erasing first. These lines because I want to bump it out more. We want to get this lion nose bumping, y'all. It's a lion nose. It always doesn't tell the truth. It's snorting in its youth. Right? Yeah. All right, now I'll erase the top of this so I can make it wider. I'll erase the top of this so I can make it wider. And now I'll erase this line in here so I can reconnect it in a slightly different manner, more accurate. Those are cool. Oh, this line, right. I was going to adjust the angle on this line, so I'll erase that. And yeah, I guess I got to erase all these interior lines here. And Arzuki is amused by Snortin' Youth. Yeah, well, you should be. The Snortin' Youth is a laughing matter. Hut, hut, so. All right, so I hate to say it, but I think I'm just going to erase all this stuff on the bottom. You know what? Maybe I'll choose the lasso tool. Because this is all wrong. Not that little detail line, that could stay. Okay, so we want this to go down almost like a pick for a guitar, or what do you call it, like a spade. It's like a spade symbol. Okay. Yorotototo. I just realized I didn't make any kind of announcement that I was going live again, which is not that big a deal, but if people were watching earlier, they might want to follow up. So I'm going to pause for 1 second. Well, I'm not actually pausing. I'm just pausing the drawing. I'm still here doing my things, but I'm going to go to my Twitter and just poop it out for the peeps. Poop it out for the peeps. Poop it out for the peeps. This is good stuff, everybody. All right. Do you want to poop it out for the peeps? You can poop it out for the peeps. Poop it out for the peeps. Okay. Now I'm going to do a tweety twits. Part 2 is go. Oops. Copy. And Tweety Pie. All right. Pause your face. Premium content. If I could cheer with bits, I would. You got no bits? I got bits. I got bits from TwitchCom on the little cards, but I forgot to cash them in. That's how I'm not doing well, because I know I have bits, but I don't even have them loaded in my account. I'm a po' boy. All right. Let me throw another one up on here. Goots. And share now. Okie dokie. I have bits, but you're not an affiliate yet. Oh, you can't get bits if you're not an affiliate. See, I don't know these things. I don't know these things. One day I'll know these things. Do you know these things? Sorry. I'm now putting a little tweety twat. I gotta stop saying that. I don't mean that way. Okay. Back to the story. It's not hard to find. What? Well, I see the cats. I get that. And then, oh, that's a Boofy face. Are you subber to Boofors? Boofors? Is that Boofy? That looks like Boofy. It's a Boofy face. She's a subber to Boofors. All right, so I got all my races done. I'm going to go back in with my draws now. So back to 15 brush. Let me zoom in a bit. Yes, it's a Boofer face. Boofy Shoofy 2 for 5. He's a streamer that'll keep you alive. Yeah. I'll connect this one. Let's erase that. Alright. And then reconnect that line a little thicker. Let me erase that for a sec. I'll go back and clean that up later. Maybe I'll clean it up later. Who can say for show? For show. Alright, let's connect this jam over here. Got it. Then we'll bring this back up and back in. Canute. Alright, and that is a big erase I could take care of right now. What. Oh, I should reconnect that line, I suppose. Oh, right. Okay, so I do want to erase that because this is getting bumped out a little bit. I forgot. Above the eye is going to be like a separate piece. Okay, but that's going to be done with another line width. So let's continue on the outer shell. All right, no more changes to the outer shell. Well, that's not an outer shell change, but I guess I wanted to adjust the neck there. That wasn't even part of the plan, but I did it when I wasn't paying attention. Tricking myself. Trichinosis. Okay. Now we'll switch back to, well, let's do 12. Yep, and that'll fix the neck as well. Nope, I'm still on eraser. Did that wrong. 12. Good. Good goes. Chunk. Okay, that's in. I'll erase this little slop on the side. If you want slop on the side, you gotta pay extra. Give me my slop straight up, buddy. Okay, so now we are on 12, so now we're going to connect this, have it pop out a little bit, see, the pop out was fine, the pop back in, not so much. Quotes. Let's see that without the guidelines. Yeah, slapo. El slapo. Let's try quicker. See, it's tough to do those quick lines when you're in the middle of construction of all the other lines. That'll have to do it, that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bring it out a little bit, and then guapo. Good. I guapped it. It's el guapo. Alright, so this, well, we'll do this at 9 as well. This sort of outer rim edge part that is the ear, but looks less like an ear and wraps around my deer, never fear. I meant to get myself a cup of tea before I started my stream, but I completely forgot. Now, in like an hour, Hydration Bot's going to be like, drink water. And I'll be like, I don't have water or tea or anything, Hydration Bot. I'm sorry. And then Hydration Bot will be like, you're kicked out of the Robot Guild, Gazbot. And I'll be like, I didn't even know I was in the Robot Guild. I'll be like, and that is why you are kicked out. I see more erasing I need to do right here. There it goes. I'm erasing like crazy. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, there goes that. And good. This I definitely need to use the 13 for. Okay, so I'll connect this back up here, making it look a little bit more like the shape of a guitar pick or a spade, as I said before. You know, a spade is also a name for a shovel. I wonder if the shovel came first, and they called it a spade, and then the shape became a spade, and then it went on to playing cards and all that stuff, or if it was a shape first, and that's why I don't care anymore. Surprise ending. He got bored of his own musings. That won't be the last time. That won't be the last time. Okay, rounding some edges. Yeah, I'd already rounded edges earlier. I did not realize how much rounding I was going to need to do. Kodama. And broccoli. Nope. Kodama was okay, but broccoli. Yeah, broccoli. All right, such and things. And things and such. Nope, that is going to be for 9. Okay. Keep on talking me, baby, baby. I'll do this with the eyes, as I was saying. Bring that down a little bit to give it a more organic look, I suppose, or rounded at the very least. Straighten the top and then round the corners and the side. That's a theme, that the whole thing was a little bit more angular than it should have been. But that's okay. We can fix it all up. And, oh, I guess these insides as well. I guess something I forgot to erase. I would like to just kind of correct it, but I found that oftentimes it's easier just to completely erase it and redraw the line, rather than try to bend and warp it all of the day long. All of the day long. Oh, that actually worked out okay. I thought I was going to have to do that more than once. I will have to clean it in there. Okay, and then not quite as good as the first one. Coming back around, Pa. Nope. Here we go. That did it okay. Yeah, all right. I'm going to connect this line on top of the side stroke stripe. Sun in, my lady. Okay. So now it looks like we got most of the top done of the heavy and medium lines. Come back down here, make sure we get these done. We're still on 12, so I'll stay up on the helmet. And then this, oh, that was a terrible start. You see that wobble? It was a weebly wobbly, not timey-wimey. It was more of a weebly wobbly, not fall downy. Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. I am Iron Man. This is difficult to keep talking when no one's in the chat and I can't listen to music or watch a video, so you just get to hear my stream of consciousness. It's technically thoughts and words. That probably should come down a little bit more. Nah, actually it's okay. Depending on the angle, I think I'll live. Erzuki, I know you're here. You are. But there's not a lot of discussion, you know what I mean? I don't want to leave it silent, so I keep talking. But Erzuki, what are the red lines I'm doing right now? Well, I'm not doing the red lines right now. I already did those. I'm doing black lines over the red lines. The red lines were correction lines because I thought I was done before with the inking. I was just going to color. But I found a better reference picture that showed me all the things I had gotten wrong, some more than others. And so for the especially egregious ones, I did a quick pass with red lines so I could tell the difference of what the new and old lines were. And now I'm correcting the inks to be more accurate to what the helmet is supposed to look like. Thus describing the red lines. Thank you very much for your question. Coming up next, red lines. No, red lines were in the past. Redline is also the name of a series of Hot Wheels. I don't know a lot about Hot Wheels. I am a toy collector, but I know almost nothing about cars, and therefore don't collect cars. But I do know that the Redline series of Hot Wheels, which I guess were 70s and 80s, maybe earlier, but at least 80s for sure, was one of the more sought after and/or valuable, rare, etc. And I think they literally had red lines in the tires, maybe. Let's see. Arizuki says, that was a great summary of information. Thank you. The end. I acknowledge your acknowledgement. Okay, so that's not looking too shabbo. Let me back up. Oops, that's the one Okay, so now I'm going to go to 9 for most of the rest of the lines we're looking at. Let me do a quick save. Hyperforce Red. Version 4. Can never save too much. That's what you learn at saving school. If you don't save, you are a fool. Saving school. Okay. Oh, I needed to put a little. No, not on 9. That'll be on 5. Okay. What was I looking? Oh, this. Right. I need to make these heavy lines for where the fangs are entered and where the muzzle like planes of the face change heavily. Come on. Why is that line not? All right, let me back this up. There's a command. You hold it and you press shift and you get a straight line, but it's not great. Oh, you know what? Let me switch to pen. No, if I go to pencil, it'll be raster. All right. I should just be able to make a straight line like that, but it's a little bit darker than I'd like. But you know what? It came out pretty straight, so I'm going to leave it. When I say darker, I mean thicker. Let's do the same thing on this side. Yep, once again, thicker than I'd like, but good enough for punk rock. Coo. All right. I'll put one of these little jibs and one of these little jams. And this line is the correct weight. What? Go. Do these connect? Hold on, let me check. Yes, that line should connect. Okay. So, oh, I'm still on 9. That should be a 5. Never mind. This can be a 9. This can be a 9. And I'm doing fine. That wasn't the end. It was the end as far as all our viewers are concerned, Mrs. Suzuki. We're doing fine. I'll give it a 9. 9.95. Okay, continue these lines back down. That's all working. Let me zoom out. So I think I just have, oh, the big tiger muzzle nose. Muzzle nose, not mazel tov, muzzle nose. If I get this right, then mazel tov. Not getting it right. Ch. Goody no. Oh, you know what? This was supposed to be 12. Well, whatever. It's on an interior line. It could go either way. It was a judgment call. I judged it one way earlier, and now the judge has changed his verdict. The judge has said, I no longer believe what I once did. Are you a flip-flopper or a hypocrite? No. I've learned new things and changed my mind. I'm secure enough to do that. Okay. Crisis averted, Judge. Here come the judge. Ole do do do. All right. So, 1 to 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 to. What am I on? 9? I'm on 9. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in because I've had detail lines, but I found out there's actually like a secondary piece there aside from just the seam lines. So that'll work like that. Okay. Oh, and I'll put this in. Oh, that's a bad line. I'll put this in. Yeah. A little eraser cleanup. Quick. I'm gonna clean with this eraser. If you don't like it, you can face her. Whoa! It's Abe Sapien. Welcome aboard, human. Or I always think I know. I always think Abe Sapien because Hellboy, which is actually, as I say it out loud, is probably where you got your screen name. Although somehow that never occurred to me till just now. Anyway, welcome aboard, Fish Boy Human. All right, I'm almost ready for color. Just got to put a few more little detail lines. Let me go down to 5. What are you up to, Mr. Sapien? You doing some artwork tonight yourself? When I look off camera, I'm looking at a reference I have. I'm not being rude. Or I'm looking at chat. Or I'm being rude. Could be any one of these things. I'm a mystery wrapped in a rude. Did that one wrong. Come up. Yes? Yes, that's better. Thank you. Okay. What am I missing here? This little detail line. Boom. Nope, bad. Let's try that again. That's better. And one on this side? Sure, why not? Pair them up. Get it? Nope. Get it? Connected. All right, so let's Do I need to put a line over here for this part? That actually pops out a little bit more than I have it, but I'm going to stop redrawing things at some point. Maybe this will be that point. Although I am looking at these lines aren't connected very well. Let me take out that. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. There has to be some sort of line connecting that structurally. So this goes up and in. I need to connect that like that. And then there should be a little thin line like that. Oops. I'll go in and erase that. Make it make sense. I'll make it make sense with an eraser. Come back up. Perfect. All right. For those just joining us, this is a Power Rangers helmet of a character from Power Rangers Hyperforce, which is actually, it's an official team, but it was not a television show. It was a Twitch RPG on Hyper RPG is the channel, and Saban just lost the rights, but before they lost the rights, they had licensed the rights to them, and it's a team consisting of Time Force agents that were all relatively new and get sucked into a bunch of adventures. But the actors, amongst others, include two members of the original Power Rangers, one member of the original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, who played Bulk, and a member of the current season, Ninja Steel. And this is Hyperforce Red, who's the leader, and he is the current Ninja Steel Blue on television. So that's kind of cool that there's this sort of Twitch-only, tabletop RPG-only version, but that it is canon. Like they've shown up in the comics, and there's an official guidebook that just came out, and they're in that. Excuse me. So this is my rendition of Hyperforce Red. Oh, I have a sparkling water. Excuse me. Oh, there was only one sip left, and it was warm. Gross. I'm doing it. Thanks for the cat heads. Abe Sapien saying hey all once again. He really wants to know to everybody, hey. That's what his agenda is, and I can respect that. All right, I'm going to put another top line here because I lost that before when I redrew that, and there. Okay, that works. And I think, oh, you know what? These lines don't make as much sense now. Were they on a separate layer? Yes, they were. Okay, I'll come back to that. I'm going to just get rid of them altogether for right now. And I'll make sure I got all my new lines. Nope, not that one. New Line Cinema presents. Does New Line Cinema exist anymore? I don't think they do. I'm not sure. Or Orion doesn't exist anymore. Maybe New Line still does. The world may never know. Okay, put these in. Give them on this one too. Why not? And put a little erase to clean that. Okie dokie. Coming up on the stretch of home. Wow, 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 wow. And then same thing on this side. Do I not have that lined up very well? No, that's all right. I think I need to erase this, though. Yeah, it's a little slippo. A little sloppo. El guapo. Maybe I'll just... No, that's fine. I'll just connect it like that. And... Oh, no, that's what I need to do. I need to fade it out so you don't see it on the side. Okay, here we go. Just keeping the top alive. Something's happening in a chat. I'll look in a minute. Goo-doo-goo. Abe. Oh, he's back. I'm having trouble getting Twitch to work. Uh-oh. It kicked me twice and I don't see any video. That's terrible. Erzuki. Oh, no? Really? Is it just this channel? Others as well. Abe Sapien. I don't know. There's drama. I don't know how to help. I'm betting he's on his phone. Can you hear me, Abe? Or can you just not? Can you hear me? Abe, can you hear me? Can you hear me? He's chatting with my technical advisor, Erzuki. Oh, you can hear. Okay, well. Any requests? Yeah, I had trouble before on my phone. I got it to work eventually, but it did do that same thing where it kicked me out and I had to restart. It was weird. So I think maybe the mobile app is just a little glitchy, possibly. I don't know. I'm new to Twitch, so I'm not going to be good at helping you troubleshoot, unfortunately. On the phone. Okay, I'm not even sure about that. LOL. Uh, you are on your phone, Erzuki. Is it weird to chat on the phone? Try turning your phone sideways? I don't know what's happening, but there's a team of people working on this right now, or at least one, or partially one. You know, there's a cat kind of sleeping next to me, completely stretched out with her arms straight out. Is that helping anybody? It's helping me. I don't know if it's helping anybody else, but it's helping me. Because before, I mean, she's awesome and I love her, but she was getting on my nerves. She was jumping up and sitting on my desk, but she was biting my shirt, like trying to get me to play in a very aggressive way. Nope. Ha ha ha, Abe says. And then Arizuki says, have you tried turning it off and on again? That's a terrible accent. And then she has a cat sleeping, which is accurate because I was just talking about a cat sleeping. All right, let me zoom out of this bucket and see where we're at. I think we're almost ready to go back. Oh, that was my backup inks. Okay. All right, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Yeah. Okay, other than the detail lines, I think we're done. So let me turn that off. And just for contrast, that was the old one. So if I turn this on 50%, it's hard to see. It doesn't matter. It's better now. It's better now. Do a quick save. Save as 5. All right, and we're going to delete this bit bucket. And then I'm going to delete this bit bucket. And now I see those lines that I talked about cleaning up before that I forgot. And so I'm going to do a quick pass of cleanup. Gonna bring this down to 5 pixels on my eraser. Goats. Lots of goats. A couple llamas. I'm not sure. All right. I cleared that. Excuse me. That was a hiccup. Cleared that path through. So that artery is clear. No need to put a stent in or anything. It's tough when I zoom in. I see all these flaws, but I can't get too crazy because you can't see them when you're zoomed out. But when I'm zoomed in, as much as digital is great, it also makes you crazy. All right, let's see what's on this side. I'm erasing little things. This here. It's just a bit off. Okay, not too shabbo. And that looks okay. Right, I think that's, just found a jagged. I found a jagged, everybody. I'm going to switch back to 5 for my brush. Okay, I got to stop right after this. I'm a revision addict. It's not as cool as it sounds. Okay, let's back up and see how we're looking. All right, so I think those revisions worked well. And right before we go to color, the only thing I want to check is these extra lines that I had in before I revised, some of which do not match anymore. So, yeah, like this, before I had it as one piece, so that line connecting all the way through made sense. But now that should be broken up. And because we're going digital, I'm literally just going to break it up. You guys, you're not in love anymore. Come on, stop it. All right. And then I'll bring that in just to make it offset a little bit so it's clear that it's different pieces of metal, different surfaces, whatever. And that's okay. Oh, same thing here. I'm just going to erase it completely on that side. And that I can clean up on this layer. Okie doke. And this one didn't connect as much, but there's still a little bit right here that I'll just clean that off. Zoom back out. What do I have this? I have that 100. I'm going to bring it to 75. I can leave it at 100. I'll put it at 90. How about that? 90? Sure, why not? Oh, these side ones, I got to clean these up a little bit because I widened the mouth area so that affects where they're going. But I think I could just erase the bottoms. Yeah, like that. This one, not as much. This one I'm going to have to grab and turn, I think. Move the anchor point up and rotate right about there. Good. Oh, and also, you know what? Now that I'm here, I put on my 3 brush, which is what all these tiny lines are, and put a couple here just to get that shadow really work and make it look super dimensional fortress. Oh, and I wanted to put a line in the middle here using just 3, so that works out too. I forgot about that. And a little one there, and a little one there. Okay, let's back up. Go goose. Okay. I'm going to call inking done for real a second time. File. Save as. Hyperforce red 6. And I have this that I will put at 100. But I don't want that at 100. Do I? I do for the visor. And I guess the eyes. No. I'll go ahead, I'll just put it at 75. And then I could add more shadow if necessary. And then let me go ahead and officially start color by clicking contiguous, magic wand. Oop, I guess it wasn't contiguous on the body. Let me just throw a couple lines there. Maybe I could smooth it out a little bit. I know it looks all contiguous though. It's not contiguous. Who's not contiguing? Which one of you isn't contiguousing? Yeah, it looks fine to me. I don't know where to even put the line. All right, we'll try it again. 1. It's that side. Okay, well, I will just, we'll do it manually, I guess. But first, select inverse. Select. Modify. Contract by 3. And then I'll make a new layer for flat color, and he's mostly red. So we'll pick a super red. Fill that Jobo. Guts. And then I'm going to switch from brush to pencil for the flats. Bring this up to 20, just to give myself an easier time, although I then, of course, oversprayed maybe. And then I'll fill that in. Okay. Oh, because I changed the neck, that black, well, whatever, I'm not doing the black right now. Okay, so now the next most important color is the sort of silver, white silver. So I'll go here. That color should work. So I'll select all the reds, get my pencil, probably bring it down to 10. Let's bring it down to 10, because now we're doing a little more fine detail work. And then we're going to zoom in on there a little bit more. So we want silver on the shoulder pads. And we're also going to want it on the helmet, but this is the bigger area. I'm going to turn off that dark layer right now and make my life a skosh easier, a tad, if you will. A tadpole easier. I hope Abe figures stuff out. I don't even know if he can still hear me or what's going on. He's in some sort of limbo land. Oh, smoothing 10. No, get out of here. I had smoothing on accidentally, so I'm getting these weird little artifacts. I don't want anything smooth. Or if I do, I want to smooth them myself. Manually. That's right, Zuki. Skosh. Just a skosh. Alright. Silver bells, silver bells. You are my hot turkey. Silver bells, silver bells. Turkey lurkey. I'm mixing up my holiday songs, and neither one is right because it's Halloween. Wait, why is this still coming out less than 100%? Something I'm not doing right. Opacity, smoothing. Brush, normal. But you can still... And it's pencil mode. See that? It should be super... Should be completely flat and opaque. Oh well. Let's just keep going. We'll power through. This is the slow way. You know, maybe I'll bring it up to 15. We could go a little quicker. Once we get the flats done, we could really cook with all the shading, all the highlights, everything fit for a Power Ranger helmet. What's tonight? Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Just a quick check-in with reality. Sometimes you lose track when you're in this zone of life or work or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what day it is sometimes. That's my life. This is annoying me, though, that it's opaque. Why is it opaque? Wait, one other idea I have. Is it on here? No. Smoothing. Let's see what happens if I put on smoothing 100%. It just slows it down. Okay. Forget you, smoothing. don't get it. Oh, well, the wonders of every update to a program never cease. Things that were fine get changed, and then things are not fine. And you don't know why until you look it up later. But I'm not going to look it up right now because we're getting through it just fine. We're doing it. We're doing it, and we're doing it adequately. All right, let's back up, look at the full picture again for a second. Okay, that's working out. Color scheme is kind of cool, the way they have it. The silver. Oops, I want to zoom in. All right, so yeah, it's a little bit of black, but mostly silver and red I got to worry about. Oops, but I have it on red. All right, here we go with the fangs and the muzzle. You know what? I can't tell from this reference picture if that's supposed to be silver going up the muzzle. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. I thought it might have just been the lighting hitting it weird. Some people like to use the lasso tool to outline areas and fill it in. I've done that, but I don't find it to be much quicker than just taking the pencil tool and drawing it. I don't know. Maybe there's a technique that they have that I don't, or I don't know. It seems to take about as long when I do it. So this also is a little more intuitive to me because you could see where you put the color down. And when I use the lasso tool, especially if I'm getting a lot of different areas, sometimes you mess up and you click the wrong thing and you lose your selection or it makes a line where you didn't want it. Whereas with this, if I make one bad line, I could just erase it or Alt-Z, and it's a lot easier to keep going and not lose the progress. So like here, I'll fill that in, fill that in. Dude, I am getting those weird artifacts though, and that's not because of the pencil, because I've used this technique before. I'm just getting something weird, and I don't know why. But again, we can live with it. Although I am really seeing now some of those mistakes because of the gray colors making them pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go in and just clean up some of those artifacts. Airzuki. Hello to everyone watching. Oh, I guess there's some lurkers. Airzuki's waving at the lurkers. That's cool to be a lurker. That's not a problem. Maybe you're drawn and you can't be typing at the same time. I understand. Believe me. You got to believe me. I need to make that. Okay, oops. Oh, bring it down to 5. This line isn't really connecting, which isn't a huge deal, but it bothers me. Okay, back to coloring. Back to coloring. Pencil. Let me grab that color there. All right, so this highlight area, yes. Maybe it has to do with the layer. Kind name, yeah, layers at 100%. Looks normal. Something's weird in your neighborhood. Who are you gonna call? Dustbuster. Okay, so there's that. And that. Oh, I didn't connect that line either. Darn it. All right, so we're going back to the brush again for a second. I'll put that to a 9 opacity. And then we're going to bring it around. Oh, no, it's still on silver. Like a fool. Oops, don't need that one. I think I could get a little better curve on that. Yeah, there we go. Oops, one too many. Okay, and then back to the silver. Select, and back to the pencil, and there we go. Oop, wrong layer. Correct layer. Hyperforce red. He's a lion. Hyperforce red. There's no denying. That's who we're drawing. Well, coloring to be precise. I did most of the drawing earlier in my previous stream, although I've been doing quite a bit of revisions that still counts as drawing. Once I get these flats in, then that's when the magic starts. Supposedly Clip Studio Pro has this quick, easy way to do flats. I messed around with Clip Studio for about a month because they had a free trial. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. I had equal issues with it. There was equal things I liked and didn't like as with the newer versions of Photoshop, like the one I'm using, which is CC 2019. But in the end of the day, better the devil you know, so I went with Photoshop. Also because I would have had to buy Clip Studio, whereas I already had a subscription to Photoshop. So I already knew most of it. I wasn't any more unhappy with it than I was with Clip Studio, and I didn't have to pay extra money. So, it slightly won out. It wasn't a landslide victory, but Photoshop slightly beat Clip Studio Pro. And I realized I put gray on the underline of that eye, and I maybe wasn't supposed to. No, I was not supposed to. Okay, so I'll fix that real quick. I'll just sever it there, sever a snape it there, and then paint bucket. Just like butter. All right, let's zoom out, see where we're at. Need the big gray piece. Was there gray on? Maybe there's a little bit of gray on top. Let me double check. It's hard to tell. These reference photos are not perfect. Let me see if I can find a better one. Yeah, it does look like it takes some gray. Okay, so I'll put a little bit of gray up on the top. It's sort of like the whole thing's red. Then there's some gray/silver highlights, but also the sort of underneath. Almost like the whole thing was made of a silvery gray, and then they painted it red, and then they chopped parts out that stayed gray. I know that's not how you make a helmet, but whatever. Okay. This pencil thing is stupid. If I had more coloring to do, I would stop and go figure it out. But once I get done with this part, I won't be using the pencil tool anymore, so it won't matter. And it's probably a thing, because I've had a few problems with 2009 where things are just different. Not necessarily gone or broken, but just different. Where like the default settings have changed. So like what I was used to in the old version is still available, but now it's not the default. Now you have to change it to be that thing. A perfect example is the transform tool. It used to be that when you move something around, it would squash and stretch. And if you wanted to maintain its proportions and just make it bigger or smaller, but not otherwise change it, you would have to hold shift. Okay, cool. They changed it so it's the exact opposite. Why? It's been like that for a decade or more. And now they're like, well, now by default, it stays the same. And if you want to squash and stretch, you have to hit shift. So I spend half the time pressing the wrong button 3 times till I figure it out. I mean, that's an easy enough thing to figure out eventually. But was somebody really like, oh my gosh, we can't take this anymore. Can you please flip it the other way? But you could give the option to change it, but changing the default is just weird. And so similarly, when you, again with the transform tool, there's an anchor point you can adjust, and they made it so now the anchor point's invisible. It took me forever to figure out how to turn it on. And now I can turn it on and it's back to how it used to be. But like they changed the default to be missing things that it used to have for, again, at least 10 years, maybe more. Erzuki is saying, sounds like they flibbled the jits on you. You know, that is what it sounds like, but it could be that they jibbled the fits on me. It's tough to say. But either way, there was some shenanery going on for sure. Shenanery. All right, I'm not sure. I feel like the middle of his mouth plate there. I feel like it's the same color as the rest, but I'm going to do a little double check. This reference looks like it's a little lighter. This one looks like it's the exact same color. This looks a little darker. Yeah, I'm thinking it's a little bit lighter. Even if it's not a little bit lighter, just to make it look different and not just a sea of the same color, I'm going to go ahead and assume that the inside is slightly lighter. So why is everything... Wait, what? Why is everything bright red now? What are you doing? I don't know how to answer that. I'm obviously revising everything. Everything that's red has to be redrawn. He said he fibbed it. I'm coloring, lady. It's a Hyperforce Red Ranger. It's going to be a lot of red. What do you expect? Red, red, wet the bed. What does the bright red layer do for you? That's the color layer. See when I turn it off? That's what they call color flats. So the red is just the only color I've put in yet. Now I'm putting in the gray, as you can see. It's the whole helmet is like red, gray, or black, and his suit too. So there's only really 3 colors. I'll end up adding more colors when I put in shading and stuff like that. But in the beginning, this is all you get. Okay, I thought you were doing some inking tricks. I forgot we moved on to color. Mr. Wizard. Yeah, no, not an inking trick, just a color normal. But I am a wizard. Okay, so there's that. I guess I will go ahead. I'm going to make the inside of the mouth white for right now. I guess I should put it slightly off-white just so I could have an extra highlight later. So let me zoom in and get the mouth going. I keep saying mouth, but there is no mouth. The mouth plate, the mouth guard, the area that would be a mouth. The mouth formerly known as mouth. Oh, and you know what? I could also select just the red. That'll make my life easier because then I only have to outline this little area on the bottom. And the rest is outlined by not being red. And then I can go guts and just clean up this stupid area here. Okay, backing that up. Now I'm done except for the black. Looks like Abe Sapien finally broke. Thanks for trying, buddy. Thanks for trying. All right, let me pick a black that is, or a dark color that is not black. That's pretty close. All right, so then I will do a selection here, and here, and here, here, and here. That is everything that is supposed to be black. And I'll put it on a separate layer just for safety's sake. And then clam that in. Look at that. That's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. I do need to go in and manually clean up some of this stuff because I was getting some artifacts here. Actually, I'll do it the lasso way. As much as I talked about the lasso not being the way I color normally, for something like this, it's a lot easier. Actually, I'll even erase and then fill. Ho ho! And a little bit. Yeah, I need to fiddle around with these settings because this is the pencil and everything. I'm definitely getting weird little artifacts that are easy enough to fix, but it's time that I shouldn't be having to do. And it's, again, it wasn't here. It wasn't like this, and they changed something, and now it's here. So stupid. Adobe, you're a butt. I said it. Good luck getting that off you. You're going to be a butt forever. Okay, so the flats are done. File save as Hyperforce Red 7. All right, I'm going to take a quick be right back. Actually, Erzuki, how do you pause a stream as opposed to turning it off and on again? Like, I've seen you cut to like a pause screen. I could just be right back on the screen, but is that a plugin or is that something you could do normally?
Well, you see, yeah, in Streamlabs OBS.
Okay.
If you go to Streamlabs OBS.
Okay.
No, go to Streamlabs OBS.
Okay, never mind. I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to put up a thing that says, I don't know what Streamlabs is. I don't think I have it.
How are you streaming?
OBS. I opened it and you said go to Streamlabs.
OBS or Streamlabs?
Hold on. This is exciting, isn't it? This is it right here. OBS, Open Broadcasting Software. This is what I use. Okay, so never mind. We're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to quickly put up this.
That's not what I use.
And then I will say, oops, not that. Be right back. And then I'll lower the opacity to 50%, maybe 75%. So they can see that I am drawing something. And I'll be right back. And we're back. Let me get rid of my BRB screen here. Very perfectly, super technically done. Got a cup of tea, but it's too hot to drink right now. That's all right. We've got coloring to do. What's this? Oh, that was the black layer. Yeah, that's not bad either. I guess that could be the shadow. Hmm. You know what? I like that better. Let me grab this color. Oh wait, what was I doing here? Well, it's 75, but I'll keep it at 100, so turn that off, come down here, flip this over to non-contiguous mode. Cool. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and I could go ahead and erase this layer. Perfect. I could also merge this down, which I'm going to do. Merge down. So we have 3 total layers. This one, I'll leave as is. Okay, so let's start with red. So, oops, so I want non-contiguous. All of the reds. Yeah, I guess I should look into Streamlabs. I've been using OBS to record for, oh, Aaron. I've been using, Aaron is one of my cats. She just jumped up near my hot tea. Hi. What was I saying? Oh, I've been using OBS to record when I do my YouTube videos, which is also Gazbot, although it doesn't need 2 underscores. And so then I realized you could just stream it to Twitch. I think I briefly streamed it to, what's that one? Not Periscope. It's like a groundhog, a prairie dog. There was some other live streaming that I tried like once. I did Periscope, but there was another one that I use OBS for. Hi, welcome. And so I used it for this as well. And it works okay, but I guess it's not as fully functional. So let me label my little thing here. We'll say shadow. We'll copy that. And then we'll make another layer. And we'll call that H shadow for heavy shadow. Make another layer. And we'll call that highlight. And we'll make another layer. And we're going to call that H highlight for heavy highlight. That's how I do most of my coloring, with like 2 shadows and 2 highlights. And then I'll go from there, adding more as necessary. So we're going to sample the red we have. For the normal shadow, I'm going to bring it down, and I'll take it a little bit into the purple area. And then we'll sample again, bring it up, and take it more into the red area. Okay. Almost looks orange, which is weird. But I'm not going to worry about that too much. So regular shadow. First, I'm going to switch from pencil back to brush. But I'm going to switch off of the hard round pressure into soft round pressure opacity. And then keep the opacity at 100%. Bring the brush up to like 150, let's say. Maybe 200. We'll say 200. And where's the light going to be coming from? I'm going to say directly above. So we're going to want to go in and put this all. I feel like the shadow needs to be a little darker. I don't think I went hard enough. Let me resample the color. Go down to there. And bring that down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's our new shadow. I might have to do the same thing with the color. With the highlight. Okay, so I'm being real sloppy because I'm going to clean this up with the eraser. And I'm also going to probably lower the opacity on the whole layer when I'm done. But you can see I'm kind of just trying to hit everything as though the light's coming from the top, more or less. All right, and then I'm going to go in, get the eraser. Same thing, grab the soft round pressure, opacity. These are all stock brushes. But this time I'm going to bring it down to 50%. And I'm going to take the brush size and go to 150. Sounds like a different cat's being bad. Oh, it was Uzi. Uzi's she's a chewer of wires. They're all great cats, but they all have their bad habits. And Uzi is maybe the lovingest, snuggliest, nicest cat you'd ever meet. But her bad habit is chewing wires. Now, Star Commander is a crazy person. She's great, but she's a crazy person. Okay. That'll work. I might have to put a heavy. Oh, I'm going to put heavy. Okay, good. So let's do heavy shadow right now. Let's really go heavy. Bring in the purple again a little bit more. And I will take the brush and bring it down to 100 to be a little bit more precise. And I'll actually sort of draw along some of the folds and creases and things like that a little bit more. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, Erzuki is saying it is Star Commander. I don't know if she was chewing on wires. She goes under my subwoofer with her paw and rips up the speaker. Oh yeah, yeah, she's a terrible jerk. Uh, she did that the other day and got stuck. I had to get her out of there. I don't even know how she found out there was a speaker under there. She is a genius of misbehaving. That's what she is. She's a genius of misbehaving. All right, let me soften these up a little bit again. That's all right there. And then the helmet. Do some real heavy shadows underneath the places where there's actual physical overhang. Like that. And in here. And down this part by the nose, because that's sticking up further. And a little bit there. I'm going to have to clean up some of this, but that's okay. Go along some of just the seam lines of where the construction is. That'll need to be cleaned up, but again, that's fine. It's easier sometimes to just put it down real heavy and then clean up pieces after. Put it down heavy, clean it up later. Pieces. Yeah, I'm a Darth Vader. What? No, you're not. Okay, you got me. And zoom out. And yeah, that definitely needs a clean up. But I will bring this down to 75. I don't know if you heard that meow, but that was Star Commander, probably complaining because she was trying to destroy something and she was prevented. She's definitely the kind of cat that's like, you catch her knocking over glasses of water and you pick her up and she's like, hey, I was knocking over those glasses of water. She's unapologetic, which is annoying, but I kind of respect her for that as well. I'm constantly like, you're the worst, you're the best. I'm impressed by you and your stick it to the man attitude, but at the same time, stop knocking my things over. All right, so this shadow I'll bring down to 75. That's the first shadow here. So it's not that tight, not that dark. This one, let's see, I feel like I'm gonna have to bring it down to 50. 75, yeah, I'm gonna bring it down to 50. That's better. And for the helmet top, I think I'm gonna go helmet shadow. And I'm actually gonna put in more of a purple color. I'm actually just gonna select purple. There we go, kind of a magenta purple, I guess. And then I'm going to go 50. And this is again is going to have to be lowered in opacity because it's way too purple. But just to get some extra super contrast on so that the material looks different than the material of the outfit, which is the exact same colors but completely different materials. And by the eyes, and I'll put a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit in my underwear. What? No. No. I wear boxers. It would fall out. They're not very tight. They're not boxer briefs. They're actual boxers. Tried boxer briefs. Didn't like them. I don't really like boxers either, but they're better than boxer briefs. And I suppose we have to wear things on our crotchels. That's what the man says. I should be more like Star Commander and go pantsless throughout the universe. Okay, now let me lighten, soften, soft the lightens. What? Okay, that was at 75, so I'll bring that down to 25. I want to keep these to be somewhat hard-edged and abrupt. What's the word? I don't know. Bold, maybe? Abrupt. I want some abrupt shading in here. Quickly, surprisingly, rudely, abrupt. And it'll also help when I start putting the highlights in, then these will be even more contrasty. 75. 75 is not bad, but I think I better stick with 50. Yeah, 50 is better. Okay, so that's all the red shadow. Now let's go to red highlight. So actually, to get a clean sample, I'll turn all that off. What? Oh, there we go. I'll get a clean sample of red. Oh, I already had a highlight picked out, but whatever. So we'll make that the normal highlight. And that'll be the super highlight. Go ahead and put those back. So normal highlight. Bring the brush back up to about 200. Oops, 230. 220. Where's the 0? Oh, there it is. 2 honey. Honey. Okay. And like I said, light coming from the top, so we're just going to blast it in there indiscriminately. But all from the top. Okay, and then we're going to soften that up. Bring it down to 100 at 50%. That's right, honey. Oh, honey. Little Trixie Mattel action. Oh, wait, why is that? I thought I had it on 50%, but it's coming on real strong. Maybe I need to bring the brush down to 25%. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I have the wrong brush. Aha. Aha. Okay, there we go. That's better. The cats are getting pretty squabbly. Pretty squabbly. All right, and I'll bring that down to 75%. I'm liking the highlights. And the heavy highlights, I'll bring this down to, oops, 50. Oh, I just brought the eraser down to 50. Well, whatever. That's what I meant to do, because this will bring down to 100. 100. And it's a little bit more precise. And we'll do another pass again to make the helmet a different sort of material than what you would find on the bodysuit, spandex, energy, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it'll be right there next to you. Huh? Who said that? Your brother, your mother, your father, your uncle. Czechoslovakia, Slovenia, whatever that song goes, from the Animania. From the Animania. Okay. Now I will go in with the soften, which is at 50. 50%, 50%. Okay, that's all good. Goot, goot, goot. Goot the scoobers. The happiness in your life. Okay. Actually, I probably could have put this at 75, but whatever. Good enough. That nose is actually better if I leave it a little bit fuller. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then I'll take the, oh, down here on the shirt. I forgot to put a little bit of highlight there. Twos. All right. And I'll bring this down to 75. Yeah, that works. I could probably do, let me see if I do 50. Yeah, 50 is probably okay, especially because I'm going to put another layer. I'm going to take a sip of tea, but I will mute my mic. Ah, gross. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it with the silver layer. And you know what? No, okay, yeah, I'll do the exact same thing. All right, so let me sample the silver, and then I'll do a darker, and a little bit there, and then I'll do a super dark, but I don't want it to be too blue. Yeah, I'll just go all black. Okay, cool. So, shadow. Actually, you know what? We'll start. Yeah, we'll start with shadow, but we'll start on 100 because it's smaller areas. My head has an itch, and I itched it really nice. My head has an itch, but that itch is not from lice. My head has an itch, and I've got advice. If your head has an itch, give it a scratch. It's nice. Oh boy, we're learning things here. It's an educational jamboree. Walk educational, talk educational. Not learning about art, learning about how to scratch your head. Something that monkeys can do when they're born, but yet somehow I felt the need to tell you how to do. All right. Let me go in here and clean this clock. And we'll have highlights on this as well eventually. So it's okay if it actually is a little bit darker than I would like, because highlights will go over the dark. Over the dock and through the woods. To Hyperforce House we go. I know there's a lot of you in the chat room right now. I don't all if you all chat at once, it's hard for me to respond. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but try to keep it orderly is all I'm saying. Super Saiyan. Okay, that shadow is pretty heavy, so I'm gonna have to do some work with the highlights. Oh, I know why. Because I was using the heavy shadow like a fool. All right, well, I've done this before, so it's just flipped. So now the heavy shadow layer becomes the shadow layer. Oh, but it's on 75. All right, whatever. It'll live. Woo, hey. Oh man, all the cat emotes. Guys, it's awesome, but you know, seriously, it's getting out of hand. I love you though. I love you. Let me actually turn that off completely. Okay. Yeah, so what I did was I accidentally did the heavy shadow on the regular shadow layer. So now I'm putting the regular shadow on the heavy shadow layer, and Bobby is your Gingo. So the only thing that sucks is because I have one layer, I mean, it doesn't really matter except for labeling, but one layer I have the opacity set to 50 and one set to 75. So I have to kind of manually correct for that by erasing or not erasing as much as I normally would on these layers. Once again, though, I'm not terribly worried because I do the highlights over it, and highlights can fix everything. All right. So that's the regular shadow. So, oops, regular shadow, or I'm sorry, regular shadow, heavy shadow. Yeah, I can make it work. Okay, so, oh, let me erase those. Oh, I forgot I had the other shadow layer. The purple shadow layer. Do I want to use that? Let's see if I turn those off. Yeah, maybe I should put a little purple in the silver. No, I'll leave it for the faceplate so that the silver definitely stands out against. But it would give it a sense of cohesiveness. All right, I'm I'm flip-flopping around like a fish on a boat. So where is my purple? I'm calling it heavy shadow. This should say purple. Purple. Okay, and then I'll bring it back up to 100% so I can get a clean sample from the darkest spot, like right there. Bring it back down to 50. Bringing it back down to 50. There's all the highlights, there's all the shadows, and here comes me with the purple paddles. A little bit right there, a little bit right there. And then some in here, and there, and underneath here, and underneath there. Underneath, again with the underwear? I keep coming back to that. I guess because I keep talking about where I'm going to put things under. And then, of course, underwear. Okay. This is definitely heavier than it should be. But I will do some eraseries, and then we're feeling better. Okay. Eraseries. They're like rosaries for artists. Have you been drawing bad lines? Give me 15 eraseries. Under your face. Under your face. Okay, that's not too shabby. So now it is time for highlights, but I gotta get a clean sample, so I'll turn all that off. Clean sample, and we'll call this highlight number 1, which is almost white. And then the real highlight will be white, but actually if I do that now I'll get confused. So Regular highlights coming up. 100. I'll take regular highlights for 100. Alex Trebek of Jeopardy fame. My name's not Alex Trebek. It's not? No. I just like people to call me that. Well, then it's your name. Okay. You win. Under your face. My name's Alex Tremaine. You mean Alan Quartermain? Nope. Never heard of him. Alright, now I am softening the regular highlights. I'm going to soften those with the same brush I've been softening with. Just like the others. Sisters and brothers. And that will get a white line highlight too, but I'm going to wait again until all those ducks are in a row. I guess I should do the black area. Let me do a quick save here before I lose everything I've done. Save as Hyperforce Red Ocho. That is 8. Also the number of Herbie the Love Bug. Excuse me while I sip. My sip has been completed. My thirst has been defeated. Okay, so... Oh, there's a little mouthy piece, I guess. Yeah, I'll do his little mouthy piece. Mouthy piece. And it's just off-white, so I'll go here. I'll go here for the regular shadow, and then for the heavy shadow, we'll go even lower. Jolly good pip pip. Alright, regular shadow. This time I got it right. And floodles. Squimmin. Parsimmon. And I'll go in and make that 100. 100 for the softening cleanup. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, very subtle. Heavy shadow will be less subtle. Look at that. Gah! I'm the heavy shadow. I fall upon your heart when your guilt is too much to bear. I am like that Egyptian god whose name I can't remember. Osiris, maybe? Is he the judgment one? Who knows? Somebody that's not me. Lots of people that are not me. Maybe even Erzuki. But certainly Sam and Dean Winchester from Supernatural. Yes, they're fictional characters, but they know who he is. They know lots of things. Alright, so that'll work. You know what? I feel like I need more, because it's the light's coming from above, so I want like a heavier glip right there. And then I'll just soften it. But I want a more consistent, like a line going along the overhang of the lip. Yeah, that's better. Alright, purple. Should I do purple? I guess I should do a little bit. Once again, tie all the bangers together. Oops, not that one. This one. It's at 50. Bring it to 100. Select at the darkest point. Bring it back to 50. Do 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 do. Oh, stay hydrated, bot wants me to drink some water, but I've been drinking tea, so I'm fine. Arazuki does not remember the name of the Egyptian god I was talking about, so we'll just say it's Osiris. Who's gonna prove us wrong? Nobody here knows. Happy days are here again. You do 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 do. I'm gonna put a little extra Zippo there, just to poke it up a little more. And I'm not gonna go too crazy with softening it because I barely have anything there. No, Erzuki says, no, I'm saying Git's not me. Oh, Erzuki's saying she is not the Egyptian god, I suppose? Sometimes it's difficult to interpret this stuff. That might be too much purple, even from my burple. Oh, what did I do? Something's not right. There we go. I got it back. I got it back, folks. Maybe I should bring it down to 25. Let's see. Yeah, that might be for the best. I'll split the difference. It was 50, 25. What's in between? 37.5? Yeah, 37.5. Okay. I am still a little bit uncertain about this. Yeah, that's all right. Because highlight time, and I'm going to use pure white for the highlight. But yes, it's Osiris. Oh, well, thank you. 17 minutes later, the god of the Egyptian god, maybe not the god of judgment, but certainly a god that judges, is Osiris. All right, doing the highlights. So it looked like I did white originally, but it was an off-white, so that when I put the white in now, it actually does act as a highlight. But I want to keep that small because we're going to go back in later with pure white lines. All right, so that is that mouth plate thing. And now we're going to select all the, I'm calling it black, but it's obviously like a really, really dark bluish black. But we'll go in same way with shadow and heavy shadow. So let's see where it is. Oh, it's almost, you know what? I think we're just going to do one pass of shadow then with black. And I'm going to have to bring my brush up to about 200 and just blast it in there like that. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And I'm not going to cover all of it, of course, but I definitely want to get it underneath the visor and where the muzzle is for the lion part. And you know what? I think I'm going to need to smallify this brush. I'm bringing that all the way down to 50 to get the tops of these eyes. I don't even know how much I need to soften that. I think maybe on the outfit I'll soften it. Bring it back up to 50. Bring it back to 100 actually. Once again, 50% opacity on it. Yeah, that's good enough for regular shadow. I will still do heavy shadow, but it's still going to just be black, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to 25%. And once again, hit those literal wrinkle marks and stuff, so I'm doing a tiny bit of rendering or defining with the shading here. Not too much, because it's already so dark you can't see that much. And then up here, I'll double down on the areas I've already hit. Might not even be able to see it, that's okay. I just know it's there. Okay, zoom out, looking better. So I would call that done on the shadow. And then no purple on that, at least not yet. Highlight. Okay, so now we grab this color and we'll go up a little bit for regular highlight. And then we'll go up more for big highlight. So regular highlight, come on down. We're going to call you 100 clown. And we want mostly light coming from the sides, not so much in the middle, but you know, it's chaotic, and if there's a secondary light source, who knows. Plus, artistic license. I like to go crazy on the visors. It's the least realistic thing I do, but I don't know. I think it's fun. So there's that, and tuck those into bed a little bit. Okay, and then we'll go to heavy highlight. Now, with the visor, I always end up going with a lot more highlights. I'm going to bring this down to 50. More than just the 2 layers, more than even a super layer, because, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's always more than 3. Right now, and I mean just in the highlights, not even in the shadows. Right now, we're looking at 1, 2, this is the second highlight layer. Oh, you know what? I just realized I should put some highlights in on the fabric as well. Let me finish what I'm doing here. Kind of get a soft shadow. And then I think we'll just maybe do 1 pass of highlights on here. It does help. Like, when it's black and white, the stark black looks really cool, but when it's color, like a full black, I don't know, it doesn't always work, especially on such a limited color palette as this already. You kind of need all the help you can get. But I don't want it to be as stark as it is on the helmet, so. Do we want to go heavy highlight? I guess we could try, see how it looks. Bring this down to 25. And just hit the, like right on the little tips. Maybe not even do full lines. Something like that. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then, yeah. All right, cool. What are we doing? Back to, okay, so now what is this highlight here? Is that purple? What is that? I got my ink lines, and those little lines there. I don't know what this layer is. I hate when that happens. All right, well, let's pretend, is it at 100%? Maybe that was the layer I was just making. Okay, we'll come up here. We'll make this another highlight layer. Put it back at 50. It's got a little bit of blue in it, which I don't always do, but I'm kind of digging it. I don't even know if I meant to do that, but it's nice. It's nicey nice. This is where I kind of, for lack of a term, play the most, is when I'm doing the visor light. Just sort of don't have to be really precise, as long as it vaguely matches the light scheme that we've set up. I'm bring this down to 25 pixels rather for the size of the brush. All right, this is at 100, so 75, 70, 50. Bring this down to 50. Is that too much? 75. Let's do a 75. Yeah, 50 is probably good. All right, so I'm estimating we're going to do two more. I'll do this one at 75%, and we'll make it actually white. I'll keep it at 25. Oops. Oops. Keep it at 25, I said. Let me zoom in a bit too. And then I believe this will be the last one before the super white lines I put on. And then I'll also be putting a couple white lines on the rest of the parts of the helmet to emphasize the metal or plastic or whatever it's supposed to be, again, versus other materials. So we're pretty close to being done with the color, and then I just got to do a background, which I'm not sure. I did, you know what, I did I did two other Hyperforce headshots. I did Alpha 55, but he had a completely different background. And then I did Hyperforce Yellow Jack. But it had kind of an exploding background. I don't know, I gotta see, because I should match, but I did Jack a while ago, and I did Alpha to kind of stand on his own. Although Alpha did have a cool background. Maybe I could just repurpose that, because I was looking at Time Force, because again, Hyperforce is sort of an offshoot of Time Force. So I was looking at like Super Sentai Time Ranger stuff when I did his background. Airzuki, so shiny. I aim to shine. Thank you. All right, let me get in with pure white here. And I already had pure white, but what I mean is I'm going to bring 13, 15, 15. 15 size, 100% opacity, 100% layer, all white. And this is highlight time. Do 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 do. Highlight, highlight. Do 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 do. Highlight. I might have to go one more on top of this because this is not quite getting the crazy white pop I normally like to get. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it's just because I'm zoomed in so much. Zuki with the nice song comment. I'll nice song your. Thank you. Thank you is what I mean to say. Alright, that's not so bad. Let me turn that off. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, let me go back here. Select the Redo. And get some more white going on here, but I'm going to switch brushes to hard pressure, and I'm going to reduce it to 5 because I don't want it to be as big. It should be not as noticeable. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to go for. Digging it. Maybe not there. A little bit on the top of this. Yep. A little bit over here. No. Come on. There we go. Just some little highlights. My cat was coughing something up, but then she didn't. She swallowed it back down. She's That's free food. That's a snack I had from earlier. Oops, that is not quite as precise as I'd like. There we go. And I'm not sure if I'm going to soften these at all or just leave them as is. I'll have to wait. Sometimes the little ants of the selection, the little marching ant things, throw off perception, so I like to wait and see until I turn that off before I make decisions on such things. A little bit more right here. Oh, and there. Okay. Let's see. It's not too shabby. I think it will soften it just a little bit on the edges. So it's not quite, doesn't look quite so liney. Liney-hiney. Do you have a liney-hiney? Well, I've got a crack down the middle. That checks out. Move along. Move along. Okay. Now, I think what I'm going to do is reduce this opacity. I wasn't going to do this. Bring it down to 90. I'm going to bring it, well, 75. Bring it down to 75. Now, what that does is two things. One, it makes the shine on the helmet a little bit less over the top. But the other thing is the pure white I had in the visor that wasn't quite doing it for me now is at 75%. I'm going to make another white layer that is going to be the real 100%. And I'm also going to use the hard round pressure. Oops, that's the eraser. I'm going to use the hard round pressure that I was just using so that it will really, really pop. Excuse me. Maybe I should take a sip of tea. Thanks, Hydration Bot. The tea is in me. Is it in you? All right. 5 might be too small. Let me bring it up to 10. Yep, just one little pop, pop. That's enough on that. And then, it's like Fortnite. I'm building things. Cats are being catty again. It's like nothing can stop them. Yeah, alright, that's it. Oh, I still gotta do... I didn't think I did highlights on the shoulder pads. Or did I? Let's find out. I did there. Huh, wait, did I? That's weird. Yeah, I did. I don't remember doing that. That's weird. And then super highlights. I don't think I did the super highlights on the shoulder pads. Okay. Let me hit that. And I also want to put a little bit of white on the shoulder pads because they are more metallic than all the other stuff. Doot, doot. So, heavy highlight, we'll just go with white. Go back to the soft and bring it up to 25. And throw that in there and then soften it up. Give it a bump. Looks good. And then we'll come up to the white that is at 75%. And round pressure 10. Put those white highlights. Alright, that works. I don't want to make it too shiny, but just enough to differentiate. Alright. So I think we're about done except for the background. So I'm going to grab all of these layers, put them in a folder, call it red, and then I'm going to say file save as, force red 9, and I'm going to go ahead and find that alpha 55 and see if that background would work the way I think it might. Although now that I think about it, he was horizontal. Well, whatever, we'll figure it out. Oh my gosh. Hi, Uzi. Excuse me. Say hello. Alright, say goodbye. And you surprised me. There's always cat adventures, if nothing else. Alright, so alpha 55. Maybe I already put him in my backup folder thing. All right, let's check the backup folder thing. Alpha 55. Are you alive? March. Did him for March of Robots this year. I did all 30, 20, however many days are in March. I did all those days. Dooba 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 doo. This is taking a long time to search. I don't like it. All right, let me just look at this. Website, completed work archives. HIJKLM. March Robots 2018. Perfect. Chappie, Godzilla, March Robots thumbnails. Voltron. Old Robots. Cyclops. Huh. He's not in here, which means he is still in my work in progress folder. This is thrilling, I know. Well, let me look at my Power Rangers headshots folder. Power Rangers. Do do do. Okay, I think Dino Thunder, Megaforce. No, he's older than that. Well, talk amongst yourselves. What do you think is happening in the world? Lots of jokes. March of Robots, Ratchet, Bumblebee, Starscream, Jaguar 77. What the heck? I have two different folders he could be in, and he's not. This is frustrating. I apologize. Alpha. You know what it might be? Oh, poops and stuff. That's going on in the world. Good point, Zooks. I think it might have been a thing where I backed it up, or I moved it to the off my hard drive, and it's not. We switched, so it might be on the one that hasn't been migrated yet, so I might not be able to get to it. But I'll run the search again while I take a sip of tea. I'm looking for a Photoshop file of Alpha 55 that I can't find. I'm looking on the Y drive right now. Is that the wrong place? Oh wait, I might have just found it. I at least found the JPEG. I need the PSD, but if I found the JPEG, it's probably in there. I guess I was just getting impatient because it was taking so long to search. Let's see if I open file location, if it takes me where I need to go. Open file location. Yes, I got it. Okay, we're good. Huzzah! Indeed. All right, 19. Hopefully this is the layered file. If not, I will go with... Oh, oops. I think I just accidentally opened up a different version of Photoshop. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so there is Alpha 55, also from Hyperforce. I might not be able to reuse this background. Let's see. If I turn off everything else. Oh, look, I used purple on him, too. Oh, those are his shines. So this is essentially the background. Wait, where's that purple coming from? Oh, this was all... Yeah, I don't know if I want to put a green glow around the Red Ranger. It might look a little too Christmas colory. This part's not so bad. I guess I could use this and put a red glow around him. All right, I'm gonna grab this folder, throw it onto this guy, close Alpha. Nope. Put the below him. Let's see what I could do here. I have to shrink it in. Oops. See, there you go. Have to hold Shift to shrink it in. Let me go ahead and turn red off just to make sure I get all the elements onto the screen where I need them, onto the board, whatever you want to call it. I need to squash and stretch you. Thank you. And then I bring it down, down, down. Actually, I kind of like it stretched like that a little bit better. Oh, it takes a while for the transform to kick in. I didn't time that right, so you guys got a nice gulp. Too close. That's not too bad. Let me see. I'm going to have to add to it, though. It's going down, down in an earlier round. All right, let's turn all these off. Okay, that we can keep just like it is. That we can keep just like it is. That's the purple. That's fine. Green, we need more green. Okay. Oh, there's several layers of green, too, in here. Look at that. Oh, brother. So that's at 25%. Let's bring it up to 100. Oh, I see. I basically just made glowing greens. So I'll turn all that off. Turn this one on. Okay, is at 50%? So we'll bring that to 100. Copy it. And then replicate. Replicate. That's not big enough at all. Go 100? Sure. Okay. So this will be the background. So there still is going to be green. If I left it like this, it might be a little too Christmassy, as I was saying before, but I'm not going to leave it like this. So put that back down to 50% where it was. Okay. And a little bit of blue. That's all right. I could deal with that as is, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. And then this one is at 75. Bring it back up to 100. And then back down to 75. And then we'll bring our brush down to 50, I guess. And do kind of sort of zeros. Maybe it's a letter, some kind of future alien typing, time travel, matrixy stuff. Which we'll get further highlights in a moment. I might have to soften these up a little bit, especially that part. Yeah, just sort of chop them up a little bit. It's just a little too bright, but it is the correct color to match the others. I think maybe I was too heavy-handed when I was putting it in, but that's all right. In a minute, I'll do a highlight. Whoa. Everybody relax. Boofy's in the house. What's up, Mr. Boofinator? We got a 10 out of 10 and a crazy Boofy face. I need that crazy Boofy face. I need it in my sleep. I need it in my awake. I need it in my everything. Erzuki's shocked too about this booster. All right, that's at 75. Let's see what the next one is. This is at 100. Good, so I don't have to mess with it. So this is the highlights. This is where it really starts looking matrixy. I'm going to bring this down to 25 pixels and just start putting some highlights in. We're really in the home stretch now. Boofy, you got here just in time to watch the background be done. Everything else was done, but the background needed a little Boofy magic. Boofy was streaming earlier, I think, or later. Either earlier or later. Yesterday or today. I know I saw Boofy streaming, but now I'm having brain farts because my day is kind of blending all together. My days, I should say. Is it still the weekend? When was TwitchCon? Tomorrow? Good. It's been a while. Okay, so not right now then is what you're saying. Okay, and then all the green goes down to, was it 25? I'm going to have to open up that alpha again to see. Because that looks a little low to me. I'm going to take a sip of milk. That's not milk, it's tea. I don't know why I said milk. There's not even milk in the tea. All right, let's see my green. It is 25%. Okay. See you later, alpha. So that seems low, but I guess we have other things that go on top. Like, that's just some blue. That's fine. We could leave it. Oh, I see. We got 25%. So even more highlights of this. Bring that back down to 25. And we're going back with more highlights. Oh man, you can't even see it. Is that right? Oh yeah, there we go. Now I can see it. It's been a while. TwitchCon is on this Friday. Okay, I better start packing. You're right. I got to get ready for tomorrow, yesterday, in the future now. It's going to be hype. This future version of us where we're at a con of Twitch. So this is part 2. I'm going to actually try to upload these to Facebook. It was the first part got messed up into 2 parts because I got a stream disconnect when I was trying to watch other streamers at the same time. Excuse me. So there's actually 3 parts, although it should only be 2. And I earlier tried to upload the first one to YouTube, I meant to say, and I actually did not check to see if it worked, because if it did, I suppose at the very least I need to give it a new thumbnail. But I wanted to try that feature out too, because if I can put these up on Facebook, I keep saying Facebook, YouTube, excuse me, then I'll have more incentive to do it. Even, if I'm not getting a ton of viewers, I know I could at least put it up on YouTube later, or Facebook, maybe Facebook. All right, what's this? Some whites, 50%, bring it up to 100. I'll put this line in some more. Let me see, that looks like it's about 100. Let's find out if nope, I overshot that. 75. Gonna say 75. And not such a flibilly brush, more like this. Oh, that's it, I matched it pretty good there. Oops. And the light source is coming from the top, so I'll put a few more up here. I'm actually gonna bring this down to 50, do a few thinner ones. I hate those diagonal artifacts. Diagonal artifacts! Dianoga. Alright, that works. And I already forgot what opacity that was supposed to be. 50? Yeah, that looks right. And last, and this is just a little highlight reel. 75? Okay, I could bring this down. Oops. Cancel you. Is it is it white? I'm not sure. It looks white. Let me bring it to 100. And then get a sample. No, it's still kind of a blue-white. Okay, 75. So close to the end, I could taste it with my taste buds. Are you my taste buds? Can we be taste buds together? We're gonna taste it all, buds. 15. Ooh, no, 156. Get out of here, you 6. Alright. Maybe 20. 20? Yes, 20. That works. Little diagonals. Little diagonals. Jumping around diagonal day. Diagonals. I hate the diagonals, but by singing about them, I'm tricking myself into thinking I like them. Don't you lulz? I mean, you can. I don't even know what you're lulzing at, to be honest, Hirazuki. The world is a vampire set to drain. That's what Billy Corgan said. Alright, so, wow. Okay, so background's done. Megaforce Red's done. Megaforce Red. Hyperforce Red. I did do Megaforce Red, but that was days ago. As again, things are blending together. I will, however, put a third vehicle folder vehicle in here to pop him out. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the same color. Go back to this opacity. I'm sorry, the soft round pressure opacity brush. Go up to 150 and create an aura around him. Now, Alpha 55 had a green aura, but again, I don't think that's going to work so good for him. I think I was gonna make it red, but actually I kind of like the bluish white because he's, the time travel, he's in the time stream. It's not about his own personal energy at this moment. Also, I'm probably overthinking this a lot. Bring this down to 50, and then I will put pure white, and I'll bring my brush down to 75. Make it big again, and do an extra highlight, almost like a rim light, they call it. I might have to open up that alpha again for a minute because I want this to match. Although as I'm saying it, it's not going to match Hyperforce Yellow Jack. My goal, and this is a crazy goal. My short-term goal, I'm doing Ranger Stop, which is a convention in Florida, in just under 2 weeks. And my short-term goal was to have a headshot of every Power Ranger actor that's going to be there, and there's going to be, I don't know, 15 or 20 of them. I accomplished that goal already. My secondary goal was to get some of them did multiple characters. Like the actor who plays this character plays two characters, so I have two helmets for him. My goal was to get every character for every actor there. Did not accomplish that. Fine, whatever. That was a bonus goal. But my long-term goal is to get every helmet of every Power Ranger ever, or Super Sentai. Well, I'll say Power Ranger for now, but I forget if it's 25 or 30 years. It's hundreds and hundreds of characters. I've already done probably close to 100 at this point. I haven't counted. Maybe it's 60, 70, whatever. And yeah, no matter how many I do, there's always more left. So what was my point? Oh, my point was that I've done three members of this team, excuse me. The first one I did a while ago, before it was actually even my goal to do this many. It was sort of just like a one-off, and the style doesn't really match the background at all. And that bothers me because I try to make them match, but also I did it so long ago that I don't love the quality anymore. So I'm torn because I want to redo it, but I have other characters that I haven't done at all. So if there's a demand, I'll redo it. Otherwise, it'll be a thing where if I finally get through and finish every single character, well, then it's time to start redoing the ones that I don't like as much. Thank you, Hydrated Bot. I will stay hydrated by continuing to drink water. All right, so let me turn all this stuff off and see what I had here. So I just had, okay, so I had green with like a white highlight. Oh wait, was it two? Oh, I had two highlights in one layer. So there was technically three color highlights, so I could put one more. I guess, let me see. I'll try putting one more layer behind it. I'll catch that blue color again. Or maybe get a little more blue. I'll get a little more blue. More blue? More blue. More blue. Crap, what was that? 50, cool. And I'll grab a big brush. We'll say 225. And I'll go quah, quah, That's a very difficult to get plug-in to make those noises, by the way. Boofy says, holy crap, that alpha makes me chocobo, bird, Tweety, yellow bird, cockatiel. I assume that makes you happy? But I'm not getting the reference. I'm terrible at emotes. Half the time I can't tell what they are. This time I could kind of tell what it is, but I feel like it signifies or represents something that I'm not getting. 161, and I'll soften the edges here. And I think I'm definitely going to have to lower the opacity on this. It makes me kiwi, Kweh. It makes me kweh. You have to understand, I am not an internet technology person. I don't understand the French elite speaks, you know. The memers, the vinners, none of it. I will pretend it's a compliment, assuming I'm right, and if I'm wrong, well, I don't need to know. Yeah, I kind of like the glow I'm getting off there. It doesn't 100% match alpha, but that's a nice glow. Let me see if I do 50. Is that too much? I think 50 is too much. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll split the difference again. 37.5. Hoots! All right, we're going to call this done. Calling it done. Kweh is a thing, I swear. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I believe it's a thing. You misunderstand. I don't know anything. You want to ask me about Power Rangers, I could probably give you some good answers. You want to talk about things on the internet? Is it the Power Ranger wiki page? Otherwise, I don't know. Well, Godzilla. I know about Godzilla, too. I know about stuff that isn't memes or Kweh. I don't know what Kweh is, clearly. But I do know that this piece is done. And, oh my god, it's almost 1 o'clock and I need to put an order in. I might be I might be paying for express shipping at this point. But that's a tale for another day. For now, I would thank all of those that have watched from the beginning to the end, those that have jumped in and out, to Mr. Boofy, to Mrs. Zuki, and I will say from me to you, Kwe. Now, as I look for the OBS to turn it off awkwardly, and I find it, I once again bid you adieu, and this is Gazbot, powering down.